I was pregnant carrying Ceri in 1989, and towards the end of the pregnancy I gave birth between 27 and 28 weeks, and Ceri was £2.7.5 born. We didn't expect to have a child so small and come so early. I'm not going to deny it was very scary, very frightening to have a child in hospital for 7 weeks, visiting every day. But as each day we went, she got better and came home at about £3.15 in weight at 7 weeks. A lovely midwife, a sister that had looked after her, wrapped her all up, dressed her up, ready to take home. And she said, now, there'll be nothing wrong with Ceri whatsoever. Just take her home, and for the first few weeks, don't overlove her, not too many baths, and don't kill her with kindness, but everything will be okay. I noticed that her legs were very stiff and you couldn't dress her properly. And basically, she'd been checked over, I think about 3 or 4 times in the year, and each time they assessed Ceri, they said she was perfect, wasn't anything wrong really. But by the time she was 14 months, she couldn't sit up. I went down to the local children's hospital and I did ask if somebody could see her. So a week after that, they invited us down. There was a doctor, a social worker, and they basically said she had stiff muscles. I took my sister-in-law with me, and she was a lot more outgoing than me. I was quite shy at the time. And she asked the medical term, and they said, oh, she's got brain damage. So basically, Ceri was born as a little girl with tethered cord syndrome, spina bifida, and scoliosis, as well as having cerebral palsy due to being born with brain damage either in the birth or at the end of the birth. Words couldn't express how much I love Ceri. It's unconditional love. Something like you could never ever. It'd take you years if you wrote it in a book. How I love her. The fight is night and day. You don't sleep overnight, you're worrying about the day. Each day we might look extremely happy and we carry on with everything that we've got to do. But believe me, everything we have and we need is a major battle and a fight. No one could ever understand it unless they live with us in our house. It's that much now that David has had to become, as well as work, 50 odd hours. He now has to help me as soon as he comes home, because for just me alone, it's far too much. And he's had to become a carer as well as a father. Over the years, you have to listen from the very minute the child has a problem. You have to make sure that you note it all down, listen for future years when you might need to go back on that information that would help your child, that could give them a better quality of life, because you've took it in, listen to what I tell you. And if there's a time come where they try to say, you know, it hasn't happened, we never said it, you need to be on the ball and keep that for future reference so your child can have a far better future. It wasn't easy, but what I used to do to keep us going, I used to imagine I'd get up every morning, that every day was a very happy day. Especially, I love Christmas Day, so every day was Christmas Day. I used to sing to her, I'd speak to her, and I'd make her life as good a quality as I could to get over what the actual disability was. That's how I cope with it. Happiness and the amount of things that she's done, degrees, 2 degrees, city and guilds, she spoke in conferences. It keeps me going, it gives me great happiness. You wouldn't get no one as prouder as what I am today of my daughter Ceri.